Hey, podcast listeners, shut up. Just listen. You know what you're here for. And by the way, if you'd like to help support our podcast, visit jjmeetsworld.com where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some killer swag at our merch shop, or click the link to Apple Podcast and give us a 5-star review.
1, 2, 3, 4. JJ Gordon, sort of like that Indiana Jones, in that he's always sniffing out his next adventure. Yes, he is. He's always interviewing guests so he can have them on his show and they can talk about pop culture, arts, and leisure. JJ has his flag unfurled and he likes his french fries curled, and he's fun and then he twirled as he goes to meet the world. He will march into the rain even if his ankle sprained. Take a peek inside his brain. This podcast is called JJ Meets World.
I rewarded myself today with Burger King breakfast, which I think is the king of the fast food breakfasts. Not just because, not the name is Burger King, but it's just king.
For lunch, I had McDonald's breakfast because they serve till 11.
I like the croissant-wich. The sausage, egg, and cheese croissant-wich is king to me. It's so good. But I did have an interesting situation when I was at the Burger King. Now, there is not a close Burger King to me, so I actually have to get on the interstate if I want to get to one of the Burger Kings, and really the other one, the fastest way would be to take the interstate as well. So I go to the Burger King that's in another city. That's how close. Like, I go to another city. I go to another state, in fact, to get to this
Burger King is this?
The Moorhead Burger King. It's down by, like, where Hollywood Video used to be, that's Sunmart. It's right before the interstate on 8th Street in Moorhead.
Oh, yes. Okay,
Right.
yeah, I could not remember it for a second.
And so I go there, and she's the woman on the speaker, who is very frazzled. I can tell is having a tough day. It's like, all right, your total will be $7.64. Would you like to round up for the BK Foundation? And I said, no. Then I thought to myself, what the hell is the BK Foundation? Right? Like, what are they doing at the Burger King Foundation? And then I took such a deep dive, and I found out about something I didn't know. Formed in 2000, the Burger King Foundation gives scholarships, amongst other things, over $64 million in scholarship funds since they first started, in amounts from $1,000 to $60,000. They also support emergency funding for their employees. So let's say you have a death in the family and you need to get home, but you can't afford a plane ticket. The Burger King Foundation will help fly you home.
Oh, cool.
A tree limb falls on your house. The Burger King Foundation isn't like, here's some free cheeseburgers. They'll be like, no, we have some cash money. And apparently they have an incredibly robust classroom supply deal that they do where they're like, hey kids, here's some coloring books. And I knew nothing about the Burger King Foundation and its commitment to not only its employees but the communities that they're in as well. I probably would have given them 34 cents if I had known then what I know now. And it really made me think about the fact that there are so many nonprofits in the world today. It is insane how many nonprofits there are. And you can't know everything. And something like the Burger King Foundation sounds like you're giving towards burgers, right? Like you're giving money towards like, oh, I'm gonna help you further fire broil technology.
Putting Burger King chicken sandwiches in the hands of third world children.
Right, or just opening a Burger King in a third world country.
Which I have a few things to say about the chicken sandwich, but let's stick with the topic on hand.
Okay.
The BK Foundation, which has on its board of directors a gentleman named Tom McDonald.
Oh God,
I don't know if they understand they've been infiltrated.
I wonder if McDonald's has any kings on theirs. So I actually want to get into a discussion about McDonald's. So would you like to get touch?
He's the president of Glencoe Management. Glencoe is where the McDonald clan was massacred.
Oh. I feel like I know Glencoe, like Glencoe.
Yep.
I feel like I know something with Glencoe, but I couldn't tell you exactly what it is. So talk about the chicken sandwich before I move on to McDonald's.
It used to be so delicious. It's flavorless. They've taken the flavor even out of so I always loved the Burger King chicken sandwich. It's the longer chicken sandwich, sesame bun. You wouldn't like this part that it's got mayo on it, but you could always get that without it. But lettuce, onions, and it just always hit. Like it was always
tomato?
It doesn't come with tomato.
That's a missed opportunity.
No, it's okay. But it worked because there was like whatever chemical flavor profile they were putting into it was unique. So you could go, this is a Burger King chicken sandwich. They had a 2-for-1 deal. So I got 2. And they both of them had no flavor whatsoever. And that's becoming a problem up here in North Fargo because we've got that red pepper, and it was kind of a brouhaha on the local subreddit recently about people who like red pepper. And I posted and I was like, I don't understand the hype. Like every time I eat red pepper, there's no flavor. What am I missing? And the only people who would defend the flavor was if you had to cover it in sauce, which is basically what you have to do now to Burger King chicken sandwiches. And I was noticing this with McDonald's chicken sandwiches. And it's like, is there a pandemic of chicken flavor loss that we need to know about? I know what chicken tastes like.
But I don't think a chicken sandwich is supposed to be what chicken tastes like.
Well, it's supposed to taste like a chicken sandwich. It doesn't even taste like that.
I mean, you're really, more than anything, you're tasting the breading. That's what the flavor is from. Is you want the flavor in the breading.
This time that was all there was. Was not the breading of the chicken, the breading of the bread.
there was too much bread and not enough flavor.
No, I just think that we're having flavor stolen from us and we don't realize it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't tell you for a fact. So I have, today going to Burger King was a huge deal for me because I've pretty much cut fast food out of what I'm eating, and not for health reasons, not for cost reasons, just because I haven't been craving it at all. I must have pushed beyond. Once a month, my show has to go to a Dairy Queen, and we broadcast live from a Dairy Queen. And I do like their food because I get their chicken strips. Those chicken strips have a lot of flavor. You should try them. You can also get them tossed, and they've got a chili crisp right now that's really, really good.
If they don't have flavor, I'll know it's me. I'll know it's something's wrong with me.
Yeah, you should be testing that.
Yeah.
Do you know that losing your sense of smell or having a diminished sense of smell is a sign of dementia?
Really?
Yeah. And it has to do with how your brain synapses, and think about how closely memory and smell are tied together. So they're saying if you have trouble smelling or having phantomyosa, is it? I think so. Phantomyosa is phantom smells. So when a person is having a stroke, when their brain is misfiring because of a stroke and they smell burnt toast. Phantomyosa, I think that's how you say it. We'll see.
What is your full Burger King breakfast look like? Give us the whole plate.
Mm-hmm. The sausage, egg, and cheese croissant sandwich and a medium hash brown, which are little tiny hash brown crowns. And that's it. I don't get the meal because I don't want the coffee, and if you order orange juice or a soda, they upcharge you. And they have a Coke Freestyle machine, and this boy don't dance with the Coke Freestyle machine. F that in the B.
What's up? Why?
It's not good. It's not good. It doesn't taste good. And I'll tell you why. It is the same problem we have with chain restaurants. Decide what you're going to do and do it really well, and rather than doing 100 things all right. The Coke Freestyle machine tastes artificial to me. And I'm I've seen them load the little cartridges, the flavor cartridges they put in there. No, man. Listen, nobody is saying, you know what? I don't ever want to go to McDonald's again unless I can get a Diet Coke with lemon lime and whipped cream flavoring. It's not the way it's gonna go. I don't care for it. It's just not where it's at for me.
We do need to go back to simpler times, and that feels like a product of like the early 2000s to me.
Yeah, I would say
You know,
that.
like it's like we've gone past that. We don't really need the allure of, oh, look, a touch screen.
Ooh.
You know, is gone. Just give me a button that says Dr. Pepper.
Do you like, and also like, and then there was the excitement of if they had a flavor you weren't used to. And it's like, oh, what? You've got Powerade Blue? So that sounds fun. I'll take that out of the tap. So to me, I think that the Coke Freestyle machines should be gone. But I wanted to get into McDonald's for a second and talk about how sometimes people just need to learn to shut their mouths.
Damn.
This last week, McDonald's launched a new burger called the Big Arch. And it's the older stepbrother to the Big Mac. And I've seen side by sides. It is a larger sandwich. It has sesame seeds, but then I also think it's got like celery seeds on it too, or celery salt or something on the bun. And then it's essentially a Big Mac, but instead of Mac sauce, it's got Arch sauce on it, and it's larger. And the CEO of McDonald's did this video, and he's like, oh, yeah, introducing the new Big Arch. We're excited about this product, and it's going to be a great product. And he goes, oh, look at this. And he lifts it up, and he goes, oh, some lettuce is falling out. That's a quote. And then he takes a small bite of it. And it looks like a guy who's sort of disgusted by it, and then he takes a bite. Now, this prompts every other fast food CEO to be like, oh, you don't like to eat your food? Well, guess what? We love it. And so the guy from Wendy's is taking a big honking bite out of it. Burger King takes a big bite. Everyone's taking like big bites and showing about how much they love it and how they would never call something a product. They're going to call it the great tasting food that you can get there, the high value meals. They wouldn't refer to it as a product. Well, this CEO from McDonald's put out a new tweet, and the tweet was all about how he's like, everyone needs to settle down. And I took a picture of it so I can read it. And I don't even know how to say his name. Chris Kepzinski, I think. And this is what he wrote. You guys are dragging this way too far. I took a normal bite, and somehow the internet turned it into, he didn't even bite it. Everyone's bite is different. Not everybody needs to unhinge their jaw for the camera. Also, calling it a product, in quotes, is normal. Every restaurant in the world calls their food products internally. Relax. It was lunch, not a competitive eating contest.
I'm not dumb. You're dumb. You're dumb, not me.
Right?
You're the ones. You're the ones who don't bite big. I bite big. You guys are wrong. What a dumb response.
I mean, what is amazes me is like you just released a gigantic, like, quote unquote American sized burger here, and you're saying like I took a normal bite, guys. Okay,
right now,
honestly, like his size bite, it would take him 80 bites to finish that sandwich.
Okay, so I know exactly what he should have done in response to all of this.
Please say it.
Exactly what he should have done. So within their organization, I don't know which person it would be, but there's got to be some top level person who is in charge of finalizing things like recipe, this is how much this weighs. We're going to test this. We think this is going to be good. So whoever that person is, like call him the C-level chef. I don't know, right? C-level chef. You sit him down at a table with the C-level chef, and the C-level chef is like, hey, do you like our new burger? And he'd be like, yeah, I love it. Yeah, I love it. And then have the C-level chef be like, that's cool. Yeah, why don't you take a bite for me? And be like, yeah, see, I love it. And he takes a bite of it. Why don't you take another bite of it? And basically like make him eat the whole thing like right in front of him, and make fun of himself. And be like, see, guys, I actually can't eat this entire thing. It is delicious, and I don't mean to hurt the feelings of my C-level chef guy or something like that.
I mean, or even like go like this, being like take like 3 bites and be like, whoa, I don't even know if I can finish this. This is a great value. This is a lot of product for a little amount of money.
Or he's like, oh, all those videos of all of those CEOs eating their burgers, they look so delicious. So I have their burgers right here. I'm going to take bites of each of these. And then each one,
none of them compare in size, right?
He just starts like throwing up every single one. And like we see someone die from eating one.
It reminds me of, in an episode of The Simpsons, Krusty is filming a commercial for Krusty Burger, and you see him like take a bite, and then he goes, and they go cut, and he spits it out, and he goes, oh, some of the juice went down my throat. Oh God! And then he smokes a cigarette to make it better. It's a great moment in that show.
You know what it also kind of reminds me of, although it is different, but The Adventures of Pete and Pete, the inspector.
Oh, I love that episode.
Who eats the barbecue chicken?
Is it Inspector 34?
I think so. Yeah, because didn't he inspect the underwear or something, and that's how they found out about him? And then he
makes sure everything is perfect.
He has very rigid standards for anything, and then he gets it wrong because you're supposed to get messy when you eat. And
he eats barbecue. It's a barbecue chicken, and little Pete, who's being like his protege, challenges him to eat the barbecue chicken. And everyone's like, oh, God, because he's wearing all white, and he's able to eat and debone the entire chicken without getting any barbecue sauce on him. And then there's that moment where, like, Pete's dad, like, it gets stunned on him. He goes, no, that's the point, is that you're supposed to get it messy. It's a great episode. It says so much about, like, culture, too. That show is way ahead of its time, Pete and Pete.
I am in the mood for a rewatch of all of those. I wish I hadn't sold my DVDs of it way back in the day.
That was dumb.
I think I pawned them off at some point, which was really dumb because I missed those things. But have they ever? Is DVD the most recent release of it, or did they ever do They never did like a Blu-ray.
And I actually don't think that they had a streaming contract either.
Wow, because they shot that 35. It looks like they shot at 35 mil. Those weren't TV cameras they were using.
Look at you using insider terms. 35 mil.
Right? Yeah, 35 mil.
They probably had a Foley artist in there doing some dubs.
Yeah, you can tell the color and shape and thickness of my glasses by what I just said.
Indeed. Yeah. Tucker and I also had a thing where sometimes I wish I would shut up, and I just can't help it. And I beat Tucker to a restaurant recently, and I was seated, and I'm the only person in that whole section, the only person. And then the wait staff comes over, and she goes, hi, I'm Melissa. And I don't know why, but I looked at her and I goes, hi, I'm JJ. And like, she doesn't need to know my name. She doesn't care. What am I doing? Come on. And then I said, I don't know why I just said that. And she goes, oh, well, it's okay, JJ. And I was like, a waiter or waitress should never have to tell you it's okay and then use your Christian name. Never in a million years.
It'll be all right. It'll be okay.
Oh God, it's just it hurts. It hurts my brain to think about that. I also want to comment on this real quick. I am surprised that people can't be married to more than one person at a time legally.
You're surprised?
I'm surprised at that.
Are you projecting right now?
No, I am just saying what is odd to me was I was thinking about this. I was like, of all the things that the government decided that they were going to step into and be in control of, like, I think it's ridiculous for a long time that, you know, if you were in love with someone who was the same sex, you couldn't be married to them. Like, who cares who you're married to, right? Like, it's not like you all of a sudden get a key to a secret club. It's not like you can use a special lane on the interstate. It's just someone that you choose to commit yourself to. And if you don't understand the legal aspect of it, like the people who are like, oh, you got married and now you're entangled and da-da-da-da. Well, that's because that person's just not that smart, right? Like, and the fact that they make you, it's like that magic number of 18. Like, you can get married at 18, but you can't drink at your wedding. You can make what is supposed to be like a lifelong commitment, which is a legally binding contract, but you can't drink at your wedding. Like, why not make people wait until they're 21?
So let's say you had two wives. Right now, you just have one wife that we know about. And so assuming that that's the truth, then we'll just go, hypothetically, you have 2 wives.
Wait, hold on. Before you're saying a lot of things of like, we'll assume that's the truth.
Yeah. Isn't that what you're supposed to do with like journalism and media stuff, where you're supposed to be like, the alleged perpetrator?
Yeah, but you're really selling it. This would be like, Mr. Simpson, you were accused of murdering your wife. So let's assume that you
Mr. Gordon, in the following scenario, which is purely hypothetical.
Okay.
Based on what I know of you and what I assume to be true.
Okay.
Let's say you had 2 wives, and then you're going to get divorced from one of them. Does she get half your income or a third of it?
I don't deal in hypotheticals. That is a good question. And that would be something for the courts to figure out.
Well, and maybe that's the trick, right? Is like, okay, if you have 1 wife, she gets half of your income. If you have 2 wives, they each only get a third of your income. If you get 3 wives,
you keep treating it as though like, okay, you've got a bunch of wives. What if I am one of 5 husbands to one wife?
No, I'm using you as the example here. I'll marry you to dudes if you want. We can marry you to dudes.
So let's say
let's say it's
partners.
a mix and match. Let's say there's 5 partners, and it's a whole. It's just a grab bag of genders and ages,
cultures,
and stuff. One might even be an alien. You never really know. Throw a deer in there, maybe. And then the more of them you're married to, the less of them you owe money to if you get divorced to them. So it's almost like when you're investing and you need a diverse portfolio.
I would actually say this. It's more
You're better
like,
off marrying multiple people.
Right. But I also don't want that person who's choosing to leave the marriage to be penalized for it. So I feel like they would be owed alimony from every person who's still in the marriage. So let's say, right? Yeah. So let's say they only get a 5th, but they're getting alimony from 4 people and like would continue to get alimony from those 4 people until conditions are met.
Even though they're not married to those 4 people.
Right. My grandfather dated a woman who is 20 years his junior, who is Swiss. And my entire life growing up, she took on a grandmother-like role, but I knew that her name was Barbie, right? And then when I visited her in Switzerland, I found out that I can't call her Barbie. That culture does not allow that at all. And so I had to call her Frau Domach. But I found out that the reason that she and my grandfather never got married was that she had been previously married and she was getting buku bucks from this alimony. So why would you ever want to give it up?
Yeah,
she was
totally
married to the heir to a knife, like a knife dynasty, like the Wusthof knives and like whatever the Swiss knife maker was.
That's what I gotta do.
She talked about her ex-husband, whose name I think was Uli, and she had a really great phrase for how Uli was his infidelity was like, oh, Uli, he kept hopping over the fence. And that has like lived with me, that phrase. He kept jumping over the fence, leaping over the fence.
That's a great one.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, goodness.
Okay, so let me ask you this. What would it take for you to get married in a week? What kind of circumstances would it take in your personal life for you to be like, I have to get married in a week?
Well, I'd have to find someone that I'd be willing to get married to, and within that week. Which
I believe is part of the question, right?
So are you saying,
what would for example, like let's say they were like, oh, you need a new kidney, and the only way you can get a kidney is if you get married. And so you
okay, so you're not asking like, you're saying, hey Tucker, you have a deadline of you need to be married within 10 days from now. What is my first step?
Or do you think there's a world where you could fall in love with someone in that small amount of time that would make you think, yeah, I'm ready to get married?
Possible, but very low chance, just because of I think the odds of the universe. But I think anything's possible, and I think my first step would be asking if I could go on your show and telling everyone in town my plight and get one of the what is that Chris O'Donnell movie where he has to like there's like a million brides chasing after him. But except that for this, there's really nothing in it for them except they're marrying me. And so it's not the same kind of thing, you know? It's not like I'm coming with a bunch of money or something. It's like, no.
Do you know
who
about
wants to get married to a young Santa?
Do you know about Herman, Minnesota? Have you ever heard of what happened in Herman, Minnesota?
Vaguely, maybe.
So Herman, Minnesota, small town. It's a real town, and this really happened, and I want to say it was like in the late 80s, but they had a horrible ratio. They had a ton of bachelors and only like 3 available women. And so they put ads in newspapers across the world inviting women, eligible women, to come to Herman, Minnesota, where they have this huge amount of bachelors and they had like this big festival for it. Women came from everywhere. And marriages still last to this day that were part of this coupling during it. They made a really interesting little movie called Hermantown, USA that was about the same thing. And it's too bad, like Kevin Chamberlain, who's a Broadway star, and you've seen him in the background of other movies. I think he has a leading role in it, and it's too bad he didn't get a bigger role because I like Kevin Chamberlain. He's a funny actor. But it's one of those situations where, boy, if you just wait a couple years later, that could have been a whole like 5-part series on Lifetime. People would have loved that.
Has there been any resolution to the pizza war?
Oh, you mean when my wife ordered a pizza from Casey's and then I had to stand there while they gave me a verbal tongue lashing about how I didn't know how to use and how to order online?
Friend and frequent listener Tom Syme was asking because he realized that we kind of left that on a bit of a cliffhanger, and I realized I didn't even know the answer to it.
Yeah, actually, I should update this because to prove to how well I know how to use and order food, I ordered Kentucky Fried Chicken as I promised everybody, and then I got a call about 5 minutes later saying, hey, I'll be there to pick you up in 10 minutes, and I forgot I had made dinner plans that night to go out with a friend. And so I get on the app, and I find the cancel button, and I cancel the order, and I take care of my own business because I know how to order food online. And then I went to a pizza place, and quite frankly, I think it's the worst pizza in town, and I don't understand why people go to it, and I won't say it out loud because that would be inappropriate. But I happen to eat there like 2 times in a week, and I'm like, God, this pizza is just garbage. So not only did I eat my spite pizza the day before, but then I had more pizza later on. And I told that story while I was out to dinner with these friends, and they all agreed the same thing, which was you, JJ, need to get some therapy, and then probably some couples therapy included with it. So the dog is still held in joint custody but really at this point, like if Jill and I were to get divorced, if she were to leave the compound of me and my many other partners that I'm building, she would undoubtedly take the dog. I would be allowed to see the dog, but I think the dog, and it's not that I don't love the dog dearly, I absolutely do, but I think the dog means more to her than it does to me. If that makes sense.
Sure. No, I think you would want to make it as clean of a situation as possible. You take the dog.
When was the last time you watched the movie Ace Ventura: Pet Detective?
I was thinking about that recently because I saw something come up where the rhinoceros birthing prop from the second one
is up for grabs.
Was up for auction, and I vaguely was like, huh. No. Don't need it.
The low bid at the time of this, the low bid is only $4,000, or it's like the high bid's only $4,000.
Right.
We could buy that easily.
We could. I'm guessing it's in terrible condition because it's what am I trying to say? The rubber that they make for it or whatever.
Yeah.
That degrades over time. Have you ever look at the old Ninja Turtle suits from the first movie and how degraded they are over time?
There's a difference because that's foam rubber.
Sure.
And the paint is the thing that eats away at the foam rubber. I've seen pictures of this thing. Now, the problem is that it's not meant for multiple uses. So once Jim Carrey is birthed out of the back end of that rhino, it looks like a sleeve of Wizard, if you catch my drift. But wouldn't that be fun if we put that in the studio and like people came in, they're like, "What's that?" and be like, "Have you seen Ace Ventura 2: When Nature Calls?"
Yeah, I don't know. That would take up probably most of the lobby. Of the studio.
I could sit inside it and do the podcasts. Wouldn't that be fun?
It must. I wonder how much the inside of it resembles what they made to look like. Like when he's
It looks
inside
almost
of
nothing. Nothing.
Yeah, I'm sure that's a
separate set. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's funny, we both have had the same deep thoughts about it. I love it. Okay, well, I gotta go because I gotta go play some auction bids. That's going to wrap it up for today's show. If you enjoyed this episode and would like to help us continue to produce new episodes each week, visit jjmeetsworld.com, where you can donate to our Patreon, pick up some swag at the merch shop, or follow our link to Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. You can also follow us on social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all the sites the cool kids are using these days. JJ Meets World is produced every week by Tucker Lucas. You can find out more about Tucker's work by visiting moonbasemaria.com. If you want to get in touch with your host with the most, check out linebenders.com, where you can find direct contact info for JJ or booking information. I was a little aggressive at the start of the episode, and I just want to apologize. Tucker had said some very mean things to me before we started recording, and I was just taking it out on you, and that's not fair, and you're beautiful, and I hope we can work this out.